Welcome to RE Master Talks with Amit. Our guest today is an agile leader who adapts to an ever-changing environment with the best of ease. Pleasure to have Dr. Rashi Gupta, fondly also known as Batriwali. Ma'am, pleasure to have you.
My pleasure, Amitji. Thank you for inviting me for the RE Master Talks.
You're always welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, my first question for the day. What makes Dr. Rashi Gupta Batriwali?
A very candid question.
Yes.
I think it's the love of the industry, the respect that they have given for being the first pioneer woman entrepreneur in this sector to come up with lithium batteries in India when there was nobody doing lithium batteries. I mean, people used to come at our booth and say that you're going to waste your money, don't get into lithium, and now look at everybody is talking about lithium. I mean, that is the new wave now.
True that.
So
I think you anticipated it way back.
That is, yeah, I did actually. Way back in 15, when I thought that it makes really sense to get into lithium, because lead acid was a fairly, matured and end of life kind of life cycle it had at that point of time. So I felt the energy sector needs something more than just lead acid. And India, is a very, very storage pro kind of a country. We're very storage pro people. So we need a change out there.
True that. True.
So that's what I had thought.
Great. So well, it's always a pleasure to have Batriwali around us, Yeah, but we've also had the pleasure of having Dr. Gupta on our conferences and, so it has been always a pleasure to have you there as well, ma'am. My second question to you, ma'am, what are your views on the present and future of the storage industry in India?
Present and future, let me tell you that storage is the most important aspect of for the renewable energies now, and without storage we will not be able to achieve the targets that we have set for ourselves. So storage is very important. And now I also see that the private sector, the government, people are now actually moving towards more advanced technologies in terms of storage. They have understood the need of storage. And this pandemic has taught us, most importantly, need of storing everything, right from the food to electricity.
True.
So, the basic important pillars are the food, water, electricity, right? Of course, clothing and the other things allied, of course, they come in. But what is important is we understand that today, if we do not store these three things correctly for a long lasting time, I don't think the mankind will survive. It's a very strong statement that I'm making right now. The survival of the mankind will also depend on storage, right technologies that we actually propel today and we bring in today for the nation. And that is how we will survive these, not just this pandemic. This is the first of its kind. I mean, the climate change is a bigger threat that we all have to deal with today. So if you don't have right kind of storages, you don't have right kind of technologies, you don't have the right kind of, energy generation activities, I don't think we will be able to survive the future pandemics also, which are going to come. Like you and I today are talking on this RE master class today only because we both have a good internet connection. We both have electricity today. Thank you for that. And thank you to all the hidden people behind this entire mechanism. So we need to understand, that storage is very important. And I think now people are understanding the need. We recently saw that Uttarakhand had this, big disaster.
True.
But this is not just one of the kind of disasters. We have seen many of them and many more will come now, because if we don't start working towards the right technologies for the climate change, it's going to be very difficult from now on. So storage is definitely, yes, the underlining word which has to take care of, which will be the mainstream now.
Right, ma'am. Right. I totally understand that there has to be a harmony which has to be maintained with the nature. So yes, storage also plays a very important part in that. Good to know that, ma'am. So, ma'am, what as an organization, Vision Mechatronics is contributing to the industry now?
Well, I have always been very much pro storage. We are coming up with new technologies. I mean, this year we did not have any physical exhibitions to launch new products, but then there is a there is a new product which has come up, which is more towards hybridization of technologies, which will actually go into a medium-term storage, not a very long-term storage, but then more than 4 hours and more than 4 hours going up to 8 to 12 hours, which is the need today right now. Because there are many places where we still see, where in case of disaster management, where you need long power storages, in terms of long power outages, like when we had in Maharashtra the Nisarga storm which had come at that time, there was a power outage. I mean, the electricity grid had completely collapsed in one of the interiors of Maharashtra, where they took 90 days to restore it. 90 days is a sufficiently long time. So if you can design a system with solar and wind, or even a power backup of at least 12 hours time there, you can survive these 90 days, or even 120 days for that matter. Or maybe you can be off grid also for that point of time. So we have come up with the medium duration storages, wherein the customers have peace of mind completely, and including IoT stuff to that, it really helps. So we are in the forefront of doing new innovations for new technologies, so that we can help the users to be independent from power cuts.
Great. We're looking forward to that technology very soon then. My next question to Vision Mechatronics and to Dr. Rashi Gupta is, how do you see the expansion in the private sector?
Okay, I see a lot of opportunities there for storage in the private sector, because see, what is happening is the need for energy is constantly increasing. I mean, if you now look at the thing, okay, from commercial, it has shifted to residential a bit now just because of the pandemic, but the constant need for is always increasing, and we need to cater to that. So, going in for more renewable kind of resources, the private sector is also understanding that energy storage is very important now, so that they can have lower tariffs. They can have peak shifting, which is very, very important for them. And, at the end of the day, ROI matters. And with the falling costs of energy storage, falling costs of solar, that is energy generation, I see private sector adopting to this segment very well. Second, I also see private sector would come up with more manufacturing, infrastructure. I mean, I'm now talking from the industry perspective. Because with the new PLI scheme coming into play, and the incentives and the government push towards more renewable energies, I think industry is all ready and geared up now to have more expansion into the sector, including generation and storage. So I see solar and storage, both sectors, really doing going to come up a big way in the coming years. So that is something you can always expect. So in turn, it would create more jobs. It would create more opportunities, and it would bring more resilience into the system, which is really the need of the hour today.
So we understand that there's a lot of push from the government towards the industry, towards the storage sector as well. But as an entrepreneur, what are your expectations from the policymakers today? Being the
that's a
hit and everything, Yeah. So what are your expectations today?
Yeah. So I think faster decisions are more important, I mean, they have made a good policy. They're trying to implement this, but then, the speed at which implementation takes place, that is something which we need to improve in our country. And the decision making has to be still faster. That is my one primary expectation from the government and the schemes. And second thing is, can we make it more can we have less of subsidies and more of incentives? I mean, see, subsidies generally, they don't help too much, because they are not delivered on time. And, the whole financial modeling goes haywire if your subsidies don't come in time, and which is generally what happens in the industry also. So can we have more incentive based kind of a, model where things would be more focused on the consumer, on the end consumer, and that would help the industry adopt things much faster.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. So on a lighter note, what keeps Rashi on her toes these days?
Well, what keeps me on toes, I think, canvassing it to the students. I've been recently talking to a lot of colleges and interacting with very, very young, intelligent minds. I mean, these kids nowadays are so intelligent. I mean, and they're so pro renewable energies. They're pro, they're so pro with, they want to adapt to something which is clean, green. And it really gives me a lot of hope that the next generation will actually take it up very well from here, and we will see a lot of improvement in the climate change aspects that we are all battling with now. We'll have a better environment for the young ones now. That is one thing is keeping me on toes. Secondly, innovation, because at this is peacetime actually. Just because it's a pandemic and you have time for yourself. I think I got good time last full year and even this year to actually think on what I could contribute to the society, what I could do as an innovation, and how I can do a lot of resilience. I could build a lot of resilience into my own systems so that, if the next pandemic comes, we're all safe and we all can bounce back really fast. So that is something I've been very focused on for the last 1 year now.
Positivity is the key. Yeah, one needs to be positive enough for that matter.
Absolutely, absolutely. Without that, I mean, I think survival is difficult.
True that.